This is a WFMY News 2 Sports Special. Friday Football Fever. Here are your hosts, Patrick Wright and Luke Liddon.
Well, folks, another week of the high school football season is in the books, and we're officially just 2 weeks away from the playoffs.
This is when it really counts. And out in Alamance County, we had a battle between the top two teams in the Mid-State 3A Conference. Western Alamance hosted Eastern Alamance in our Wendy's Game of the Week. And it was a good battle as both teams were hyped for this matchup, and it had its fair share of drama early in the first quarter. Eagles driving when Hayden Mann hits Tyson Riley, who's about to score, but he's drilled and fumbles it a yard before the goal line, so the Warriors recover, and it's a touchback. Ensuing drive, Western Alamance would stall out, but Jackson Brooks would drill this kick right down the middle from 44 yards out for the lead, but back come the Eagles from a yard out. It's a bad exchange. Man can't get a handle on it. It's a loose ball in the end zone. At first, the Warriors think they recover it, but after the refs discussed amongst themselves for about 2 minutes, they awarded Eastern Alamance the touchdown, and now the lead, and their fans were just going absolutely wild. But nearing the end of the first half, the Warriors weren't faced. Christian Daniels on the keeper to the left side, diving and reaching across the plane for the go-ahead score. Western Alamance would tack on another score early in the third, and they remain undefeated on the year at 10-0 as they win 31-14.
Well, one of the state's biggest rivalries continued tonight in Greensboro. Grimsley made the very short trip over to Page. The Whirlies came to Marion Kirby Stadium looking for their first win against the Pirates since 2006. And the first play of the game from scrimmage, Page quarterback Javondre Page, he fumbles. Grimsley recovers, a solid way to start there. But then the first play for Grimsley, Chris Zealous sees his pass picked off by Evan Gill. 2 turnovers to start the game there. Later on, though, Page going to call his own number on the read option, gets around the edge, steps into the end zone for the score, and the Pirates weren't done yet. How about Cody King taking the sweep around the corner, gets to the sideline. He does this pretty well. Cody King going to take it 65 yards for the touchdown. Page goes on to get the 42-0 shutout. Well, we've only scratched the surface on tonight's Fever. Still ahead. Could West Forsyth and Glen both remain unbeaten on the season? Well, Ledford and North Davidson, they continued conference play. Highlights from these games and more coming up next. All right, welcome back. The battle for the Central Piedmont Conference is going down to the wire. Both West Forsyth and Glen are undefeated. Tonight, the Titans look to stay that way against Reagan. And West Forsyth, they came out fired up, and they came out pretty fast. Check this out. First play of the game, we've got a reverse handoff, but they're not done. Drew Latham tosses it up deep to Trey Archie, who comes down with it for the long bomb. Later on, that's going to set this up. Jamani Wilson takes the handoff and scores the touchdown to make it 7-0. Later on, Wilson again, this time Caleb Lundy going to stop him for the short gain. West Forsyth, though, they weren't done. Reagan's punting here, and Jaquan McMillan making it look easy. I don't even think he's sprinting right here. Looks like he's jogging up the sideline. Turns on the second gear, though. Going to take it to the house for the touchdown. West Forsyth goes on to win 38-7.
Before turning their attention to next week's monster showdown with West Forsyth, head coach Antoine Stevenson and Glen had to get past Reynolds. Glen led 27-8 at the half, and their defense was still alive and well in the second half. Reynolds going for it on fourth. Charlie Minch passes to DiMaggio Wilson, but he stopped short by Tyrell Allen. Then their offense took over. Stephon Brown finds MJ Morton for the nice 28-yard gain. But Reynolds, they still battled. Andrew Anderson going to bring down Adrian Miller for the short game, but it wouldn't matter because Brown eventually hits Braxton Rory, who juggles the pass, but he holds on for the touchdown. At this point, Reynolds was doing anything to catch Glen off guard, the fake punt, but Glen, they get the stop, and they also get the win. They stay undefeated on the year, 48-20.
Well, Randleman looked to wrap up Pac-7 conference play unbeaten with a win over Eastern Randolph tonight. And here come the Tigers, ready for some football. We'll start in the first quarter. This right here, a punt return for Umar Mateen. Going to field the punt and take a look at these moves. Going to dodge a defender there, throws him to the ground, in fact. Going to get around to the sideline. Looks like he's going to score, but he'd be stopped after a 45-yard gain. No worries, though, because on 4th and 25, Tanner McGee finds Tyson Green for the 40-yard score. That makes it 7-0. McGee wasn't done. He finds Dawson Edwards there for a 20-yard gain. That's going to lead to Jaquan Snipes taking the handoff right up the middle to make it 14-0. Randleman goes on to win this one 49-0.
Our Fever Caravan stopped in Thomasville for Ledford and East Davidson. East Davidson, they would knock in a field goal from about 20 yards out to get on the board, but Ledford was just too much to handle. Matthew Rogers in the shotgun going downfield, and he connects with the wide open Walker Lackey. A nice cut in the open field, and he's going in for 6. The Golden Eagles, though, still had some fight in them. Stephen Merritt battling his way into the end zone for their final touchdown of the game because Ledford kept the pressure coming. Lackey, again, this time on the sweep to the right side, disappears for a moment, and then bam, there he is, trotting his way into the end zone as they win big, 41-10.
Well, the Dudley Panthers had a chance to improve to 9-1 on the year with a win over North Forsyth. And Dudley led 42-0 at the half. I'm sure you can guess how this one ended, but North Forsyth trying to stick around in this one. Here we go. Joshua Reynolds here coming into your living room after the nice gain. Later on, they make something of it. Tyreek McNeil takes the pitch, gets around the edge. That's good for a touchdown. North Forsyth finally gets on the board, but Dudley was just too much in this one. Here they are on the kickoff. The very next kickoff, Taquarius Davis going to take this one right up the middle for the nice 35-yard gain. And Austin Hooker, he does the rest. The quarterback keeper there right up the middle for the touchdown. Dudley wins it 48-6. Well, more scores and highlights are coming up on Friday Football Fever. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to Friday Football Fever. Let's draw up a play for our Aviation Triad Flight of the Night. For this one, we focus on quarterback Javondre Page. The Page signal caller threw it up multiple times in the first half, connecting with Nick Baker, Sean Melton, and Nassim Austin. And that right there is our Aviation Triad Flight of the Night. All right, second place in the Metro 4A was on the line as Ragsdale made the road trip over to High Point Central. We start in the second quarter. Ragsdale's ball. Devin Boykin going to throw one deep to Cameron Chapman. That's good for a touchdown. It's 21-7 Tigers. Here comes High Point Central, though, on fourth down. Trying to convert, but Neonte Woods is there to stop him short. Going the other way now, Ragsdale on their own 23. Boykin, he's going to fumble, somehow recovers this and still makes a play, tosses it up to Trey Good for the nice gain, and they would turn that into this. Boykin drops back, reads the field, tosses it over to the corner, finds Trey Pratt for a 20-yard touchdown. Ragsdale goes on to win big, 56-15.
High Point Christian wrapped up regular season play against Statesville Christian, and let's get right to the highlights. Is it heads or is it tails? I always get it wrong. What's your guess? Hurry. Yeah, it was heads. And for High Point Christian, look at their first play. Chance Clincy on the quarterback keeper. Run, young fellow, run. Keep moving. Come on. All the way to the end zone, maybe. No, he's brought down at the 10-yard line, saving a touchdown. That was actually a big play because the Statesville defense would hold High Point to just a field goal in the 3-0 lead. So later, Statesville's Brennan Settle rolling to his left side, whips this over to Quadravis Parks down to the 3-yard line, but no worries because the very next play, Jamie Turner would find Pater, but it's High Point Christian that wins a low-scoring affair by just a field goal, 10-7.
Now it's time for our Blue Cross Blue Shield Drive of the Week, and for this, Page just needed one play, but let me tell you, it was a huge one. Let's check it out. Cody King takes the handoff, reads the field to perfection. King gets outside, and he's off down the sideline. 65 yards for the touchdown. That TD run is our Blue Cross Blue Shield Drive of the Week for Week 11 of the 2017 season.
Time for some final scores very quickly. North Surrey beats West Stoke 17-7 to claim the Western Piedmont 2A conference title. East Forsyth tops Davie County 35-7. Southwest Guilford and North Davidson both get shutout wins tonight.
All right, well, that does it for this edition of Friday Football Fever.
If you missed anything from tonight's show, just head over to WFNYnews2.com/HSS to catch all of tonight's highlights online.
And have a great night. We'll see you back here next Friday.
Thank you for watching Friday Football Fever. We hope you enjoyed this WFMY News 2 broadcast.